Hey everybody, clearing. All right, let's dive into a divine masculine check-in today. I keep hearing on the pre-shuffle spiritual court. So that is telling me that the masculines are somehow being shown that these connections are tied into their karma. It's something about how they're not coming forward yet. So let's have a look at what the masculines are learning about appropriate masculine conduct, following their knowing, their side of it. How does it feel for you, divine masculines, on these journeys? What do the masculines think? How are they evolving at this time? So thank you, divine creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the DMs on this journey. What can we see for how they're thinking and feeling about the connection and their counterpart? What they are now seeing to manifest and take action on? What is the biggest challenge at this time for them? What is the spiritual solution, energetic solution? What are the emotions, the feelings that the masculines are processing at this time? Maybe shed a little bit of light on the feelings connected with some of these things for you, masculines, if you want to watch it for that. And what would the DMs say to their divine feminines at this time about what we're seeing here shifting and changing? All right. Conscious mind for the connection. What is shifting? Okay, Lord of Oppression. Oh boy. I just heard the DMs are not hanging out in mamby-pamby energy anymore. They're masculine up. They're doing the work. Lord of Oppression can be overburdened because of poor karmic choices. It can be victim blame mentality. It can be just genuine, sincere people-pleasing, wanting to do right, doing the most for everybody that is not deserving of it, and then not having anything left to give to those who are. This is masculines finally doing the work for yourselves and getting yourselves out of this karmic overburden. So that feels like the masculines are withdrawing from certain situations, whether that is emotionally, mentally, or physically. There seems to be a going inward here, which does imply or infer that in order to come forward to divine feminine, the masculines have to do more inner work here. What is the emotion associated? Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Yeah, what makes or breaks? Doing the work. So yeah, it's not about doing the external work so much. It's about doing the work of alignment internally. Masculines, you can be like everybody else, or you can actually buckle down, do the work, masculine up, be those exquisite works of art that you are, and continue going. What would the masculines say to the feminines? I miss you, do you? So because divine feminines, you're, sitting pretty, doing you, focused on other things, your DM isn't sure that you need them, isn't sure you're thinking of them as much as they're thinking of you. These DMs are putting pressure on themselves to make some changes. They're fearful or concerned that they might miss out on that one good person in their life if they let you go. I'm also getting the feeling that they feel with this envy card that other suitors, other potential partners could come in if they don't figure out how to start living in alignment. They're spinning their wheels. There's something that has passed the expiration date that these masculines know that they need to get themselves out from under the burden of, whether that's a way of thinking, connections with others, work scenarios. It could be so many different things, but the masculines realize that they can spin their wheels all day long, but if they don't actually make the changes or do the internal work, they're going to miss out on someone like you, divine feminine. What are these masculines realizing about their divine feminine Four of Cups, Lord of Blended Pleasure, and too many people being involved. Yeah, they're spreading themselves too thin. They've been giving to other energies, other commitments, other focus, and it's really not been fostering a depth of connection here. It's like they've been trying to share their pleasure equally between this connection and other connections or other areas of focus that are not on par with what this connection has to offer. So it's like they're trying to give equally to apples and oranges, but it doesn't compute because not everything is deserving of their continued attention and focus and energy. So masculines, what's the emotion with this? Empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. Wow. So you might be the only one missing out. Your feminine is missing out. These other individuals that you're focusing on that don't deserve you or other scenarios are missing out, because when you unduly focus on those things, it's like coddling those things. They don't get a chance to step into their own capacity if you're doing it for them or carrying their karma, for instance. Take that how it resonates. But it does feel like you need to see a bigger picture and not so much just from the egoic perspective. Yes, you are an incredible, loving being, divine masculines, but you don't have to pander to or take care of something that you view as ill-equipped. You can allow whatever that situation or person to stand on their own without you having to carry that. You can cultivate that change. You can see both sides of the situation. There are a lot of other sides of the coin here. You missing out on true love and connection, your feminine missing out on true love and connection, and any karmic situations or scenarios missing out on coming into more authenticity for themselves. What would the masculines say to the feminines? I am coming, trust. So they are waking up to this, feminines, this idea that they could see themselves in the shoes of another, yours, karmic scenarios, and they can start to see how, because they've been doing the work, that others are capable of doing the work, or that they're the only one missing out if they keep giving to situations that are not a fit for them. It doesn't do anybody any favors. So they're starting to realize they do need to come forward here and have some bravery and have a second chance. Or a 50th chance. I just heard someone say, what can we see for how these masculines are viewing the connections on the heart space? How are things shifting? Knight of Swords and the Fool. So what they're not telling you is that they are getting ready to take a leap of faith here, feminines. They are almost ready to leave that karmic nest, we'll say. What can we see for the emotion associated? Guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. So they've been hanging out in the nest too long. They've been hanging out in their comfort zone. They've been hanging out in the familiar territory. Guilt was associated with this. Abandonment wounds that were being projected into their circumstances. Fear of making a misstep. Fear of abandoning others. That's all kind of here. I'm seeing these little fledglings on the edge of the nest ready to leap, and these guilt paradigms coming in. Every time they go, they spook themselves a little bit, but they're aware of this, and they also realize the time has come to make some moves. I just heard. What would they say? Have I lost everything? So really, they have nothing staying where they're at. They've outgrown it, like a fledgling outgrowing the nest. There comes a time when you have to fly. You can't just stay back in it. But they do face losing you and this incredible chance at real love being offered to them. So they are really getting the guilt scales straight here. They would have more guilt at the end of their life if they forego on this potential than if they hang tight and stick in with whatever the status quo is. So this is shifting. Their perspective is shifting. What can we see on the heart space for the divine feminine? Yeah, Eight of Cups, gone but not gone. Lord of abandoned success, but in the inverse. So as far as this divine connection that brings out their King of Wands, divine masculine side, it could be abandoned success if they cut it off before it even begins. They have been developing into the embodiment of this divine energy that they've been studying and learning and stepping into. They haven't completely ever walked away. If you've noticed, feminines, these masculines have been lingering, loitering, lollygagging all around your orbit. They have never really left. It's because they've been learning from it all. But they step into it fully when they come forward and say it's go time. So they have never been able to fully let go of this on the heart space, and this is really deeply evident to them right now. What is the emotion connected? Relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Time and time again, this connection has shown them that they have a friend in you. They have incredible chemistry with you. You are such an exquisite divine being, divine feminines, and you represent something that is of greater good for them in relationships. They may have had a history of hanging out with people who were sneaky, shady, deaky, low vibe, who haven't been good for them. And they might have thought at some points that's all they were worth. And so while they might have thought they were bad for you, this is saying they're realizing what a gift you are because you're so good for them. They did not believe they could connect with somebody that was this good. They thought everybody was alike, and it was just whether or not someone was physically more attractive or not. Now they are seeing the soul value of someone that is righteous and divine. What would they say to you about this? Time to ground yourself. So they are mustering this grounding, like they are really energetic facts checking right now. They are going down the list internally about mustering up the awareness that if someone like you is in their vicinity, that is a reflection of them, and that somewhere in there they must have a legitimate shot at this, or it would not have been hanging out in the energy for so long as it has. So this is a pep talk on their heart space that they are really, in the middle of that fledgling motion. This is in their heart as the cheerleader, as the encouragement right now. So they are on the verge of something here that's uncharacteristic. They've never been at this place before. They've never been at this developmental stage before. Neither have you, divine feminine. What are these masculines shifting their perception on what they want to manifest here? Princess of Wands, that's the spiritual seeker. Okay, they're wanting to deepen the moon. That's about as deep as you can get emotionally, subconsciously. So they're wanting to mine it. They're wanting to go in and find the spiritual value. The seeker of, or the Princess of Wands is my spiritual initiate who goes before the altar, lays down the burden, seeks higher guidance, seeks the next steps. And that's like a yes card going down into the depths of the subconscious here. They want to go into talking about emotions. They want to explore it. They feel more safe. I heard open wonder. They don't fear that you're going to attack them for not being savvy about emotions. They're starting to feel unafraid of the dark, so to speak. And so they're mustering this, and this is new. They actually want to explore cause and effect emotionally. So for these masculines, there's been so much convoluted emotional trauma and gaslighting and narcissism and abuse and codependency that emotions were always used against them. And now they're starting to see you don't play those games. I just heard, homie, don't play that. So they want to actually explore this with you feminines. What is the emotion connected? Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So you haven't turned your back on them when they have dropped the ball or fumbled this connection. And that is helping them understand that you may be a keeper of these deep secrets, of the emotional savvy, the emotional wherewithal. And that if they are not, fully fluent in it, that they have the ability to ask for your guidance, for your mentorship, for your wisdom here, feminines, but also they know you'll afford them patience and kindness. And so they can do it. They are your divine counterpart, but they are mustering the courage to take this leap of faith and begin opening up the emotional can of worms. What would they say to you? Let me have you. So they want you so badly, they would even talk about emotions. They're getting to that point where they have to come correct. Trust. I am coming, trust. So yeah, they are on this. They know that's what it would take now. They know that in order to have you, they have to deepen here. They can't keep it surface. They can't do the least. What are they wishing to take action with here? How are they shifting? What are they looking at? King of Cups and Hierophant, they're starting to, some of them are crying right now. These eclipses are making them very emotional. Frustration, I just heard. Like they cannot stay small anymore. They're going to have to mature. They're going to have to step into it. They're getting this higher guidance that is the key right now, that they don't have any other intel from higher guidance other than it's time to start unpacking these emotions and being more honest with themselves about how much intensity and emotion they actually do feel here with you. And service, I feel good when I can help others. So they want to take their ability to contribute and to interact with others to a new level. They are emperors, they are kings. This is masculine leadership energy. And so they know in order to excel with that, they have to grow emotionally as well. The King of Cups in the inverse is like spilling the beans, spilling all the emotions. I just heard gift of gab, and once they open up, they may not shut up for a long time, feminines. So be careful what you ask for. These masculines are getting ready to tell it all, tell it like it is. They're being given this spiritual incentive that they can't progress on their path of purpose. They can't step into service. They can't even change careers or branch out or be accelerated in their field if they don't stop bottling up their emotions and if they don't tap into this way of being, is what I'm hearing. What would they say to you about this? Do you think about me too? So they're thinking about your ability to speak from an authentic and emotional aware place. They wonder if you see that potential in them, if you see that mastery. They really do feel like they have not expressed on this level in your connection. And so they are wondering if you have, this is a bit of a shadow to this energy, but they're wondering if you are somehow naive, that you haven't noticed that they are not very emotionally savvy, or that they haven't been offering that in. They wonder if you're settling, and yet on a good day, they know that you are the high priestess and that you do get it, that you've been giving them unconditional love while they come into this, while a baseline is set. But there are some shadowy things going on here where they're trying to get away with not doing this work, not deepening, by just projecting that they don't have to with you because after all, you've turned a blind eye to it so far, or something like that, which is not true, masculines. Your feminines love you unconditionally, but they can read your energy. They can read the room here. So they do know from other means, such as your actions, the subject matter you bring up in their proximity, all that stuff, that you have tells, masculines, that your feminines can really read. They know your depth. they know your trauma. They don't know the specifics, but they do know that you've been affected. And there is a reason you're not feeling at liberty to express emotionally. They have a great deal of capacity or empathy for that, masculines. What are the DM's biggest challenges? What are they shifting with that? The Hierophant. So that they're being shown this spiritual happiness awaits them when they become more transparent with their emotions, where they drop the fear and they actually let the feminine in on their vulnerabilities, their insecurities, their concerns, their hopes, their dreams. Whatever it is that they've withheld from feminines, the biggest challenge is they're being spiritually guided to stop that. What is the emotion connected? Abundance. I'm a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Basically, they are at the gate, the pearly gates I just heard. Life after death. When they die to self, they can have this heavenly experience and all abundance, but they have to put down their ego. They have to put down their fear. They have to drop the guard. They have to stop playing games. They have to stop withholding and being skeptical. They have to stop that. They have to take a leap of faith in order to gain the keys to heaven here. What would they say to the feminines? I would do anything for you in the inverse. So this has been the one thing that's been holding them back. They are saying that they would do almost anything, just not that. They just wouldn't open up their emotions. Blue here for emotions. Until now, like they are really seeing the only way to progress is to open up emotionally, and there is nobody that they would be guided like this to do this with than you. Okay, what can we see for what the solution to this challenge is? Opening their heart and facing the anxiety, facing their fear, looking their fear in the face. This is the solution, masculines, is to really take this leap of faith. It starts inside of you. This leap of faith out of your comfort zone is going to be this opening your heart and tapping into this cracking the code of anxiety. I will say it again. Anxiety is when our head and heart are out of alignment. So your heart's telling you to open up and your head is saying, nope, don't do it. Not today. I'll do it tomorrow. That hasn't been safe before. It's better this other way. I want to be stoic, blah, 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 all this stuff. There's a time and place for everything. But the anxiety is really coming to the surface because it's time for your heart to open. It's past time. It's like past time o'clock, masculines, to open your heart. What is the emotion with this? Growth. Yes, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So you can't fully expand where you're at unless you begin to also include this emotional aspect and you begin to acknowledge your feelings and validate them and grow that way. It's time for that. What would they say? Unconditional love. So this is a new territory. The Ace of Cups doesn't have any of the answers, just like any of the aces. It's just a yes. It's a tentative yes we're seeing here, but nonetheless, it's a yes. What is the direction in the near future? 5 of Wands. So this is doing what it takes to let go of the pretense, dropping the mask, letting go of people, places, things that no longer resonate, the comfort zone, the constructs, the masks. This is letting all that go. What is the emotion? Regret. I know I can't change the past, but we can change. And we can stop letting the past influence the now. So they are saying, I can't change the past, but that doesn't have to affect the now. Oh, and then they're saying, you hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. So there is something in this connection that even though they've never felt more love, there is something they haven't yet expressed to you, feminines, that has been also the one excuse to hold back from completely opening up so far. So there's been some kind of perceived betrayal or confusion or misunderstanding or projection that they haven't gotten beyond that's really hanging them up. let's have a quick look at that. So for the masculines watching this, that you're still maybe harboring one sort of padlock on opening up here, what is it that we can get for the masculines that are using a past hurt as a reason not to open up to these feminines? Okay, adventure. Embrace the unknown. So it's about surrendering to the unknown. So you've got this power principality, this paradigm going on that your feminine has hurt you. You've got some kind of a relic from the past here, and it's a gatekeeper that's stopping you from going to the unknown. So it's likely an illusion. And if facts happened and your feminine did in fact co-create a perfect storm in some way, it wasn't intentional or it was taken out of context. There's something that you're doing here, masculines, that you are forcing this excuse to remain there instead of forgiving or understanding on a deeper level. So part of the first emotional lesson that you might have is unpacking whatever this harbored resentment or lack of forgiveness for your feminine is that you haven't talked about yet. So that could be a very good starting place, but embracing the unknown is what lies behind that conversation. Practice unattachment. So that means, if you're going to safely step through this doorway with your feminine, you're going to have to let go of attachment to fear of abandonment. Change is imminent. Take a leap of faith. Say yes. So this is your yes card, masculines. It's time to take that leap of faith and go beyond what your comfort zone is. Say yes. So if you've watched all the way to the end and you like my content, subscribe, like, comment, boost those algorithms, and have a wonderful day. Much love. Bye for now.